Hi friends, today we are painting a pear outside. For our paints, I used an old egg carton. I'm recycling today. I have some light green paint, medium green, beige paint, black for our background. I have some hot pink, orange, blue, purple, and a little bit of brown. We're gonna add some cool details to our pear. The way I start out, I'm going to sketch the pear. And I want to take up a good space on my canvas. And the pear is fuller down at the bottom. Like that. Okay, can you see that? When you sketch, you want your sketch line to be really light. Okay, there's our pear. You can even make it fuller down at the bottom if you want. Okay, and now we're gonna have some fun. I have paper towels. We're going to paint this background with a paper towel. So have some fun with it, fill it in. We know where our pear is going to be. You're going to go a little bit past the edge of where you drew your pear. We can always go back in and fill it in. And a paper towel covers a big area quickly. Don't forget to paint the tops and the side of your canvas. This is going to be a quick pear, so I'm keeping my background really simple, but if you wanted to add a table, you could add a table. I wouldn't put it right at the bottom of the pear here. I would raise up your table line, and you could pick a brown or make it look like a pretty tablecloth and pick a bright color. I know some of my friends that I teach like their bright colors, so they probably would not choose black, but I want my pear to jump out because I want to try and keep it pretty bright on my canvas. And already I'm getting super messy, but it's good. Messy is good. Okay, so we know where our pear is going to be. Okay. Do the bottom and the side of my canvas. Okay. And then if you have some extra time when you're painting, you can let your canvas just sit like that and let that black set up a little bit. If you have any empty spots, you can go ahead and fill it in. But we're going to want to wipe off some of my paint here. Now, the quick and fun way to paint this pear is to use your fingers. I do have some brushes, so if you're super fancy, you can use paint brushes, but I like to get messy. And I wiped off most of the paint off my hands. I can always wet them just a little bit. There we go. Oh, it's windy. I hope my canvas doesn't fly away. I want to take the light green and we're going to fill in our pear. Already it's looking like a really cool pear. So fill in the center part first because remember, the edges are still wet. So if we use lots of paint, it will look like an impressionist style of painting. And if you've been watching some of my videos, we know Vincent van Gogh liked thick paint. So I don't know if you can see all that thick paint in there. We're just gonna have some fun and see how fast we can create our masterpiece. You can take all the time you need. Okay, so I go close to the edge. Okay, and we know that's where our pear is going to live. Okay, you can see my finger grabbed a little bit of that black paint. If you start to mix in too much black paint with your pear, then just go ahead and find a clean finger and wipe it away. All right. I'm gonna grab a little more paint now. I want to go up to the edge of my pear. Just don't go back in the middle of the pear. Just go around the edge like that. And I am picking up some black, but that's okay. We can always go back in and touch it up. Okay. You see, we're making a shadow. So now we know where our dark side of the pear is going to be. Okay. Dance your fingers across the canvas. That's going to be our dark side. Okay. Now what I want to do is wipe off my fingers. And now I have 5 more brushes. I'm going to take more of that light green and just make sure I go right up to the edge. Oh, it's fun, guys. Try and get a little fresh paint because this is going to be the light side of our pear. Okay. And now we have that darker green color. And this is where our shadow is going to live. Okay. And just move your hands across. We can have some darker green on this side too. But if the light is shining here, then the darker side, the shadow would be on that side. Okay. So I don't want to tap too much because the pear is rounded, so my shadow would be rounded like that. Okay. I think I needed more paper towels. Okay, what else can we use? I'm going to grab a little bit of brown. You don't need that much. We don't want our pear to be too dark. Okay, so dark on this side, and then the pear goes in a little bit, so let's add a little bit of dark right there. Okay. Okay, I'm going to touch up my pear a little bit. Okay. Changing the shape a little bit. I'm going to bring that up a little bit higher. All right. You can play around a little bit. I want to grab some white on a clean finger. I'm going to add some highlight right there. Finger goes around, because that's where the highlight is. You can go around this way too. If you pick up some of that black paint, that's one of the benefits of letting your background dry. Let's see if we can get more brown and green little bit muddier down here, okay? Ooh, I'm getting really messy, guys. And just follow that round shape. We can still see some pieces of 100% brown and 100% green in there. Don't overblend. Okay. And then wipe off some of that green paint, and we're going to put a little bit of like a blush highlight in our pear. See what happens. Now, red and green are complementary colors, so they look really good when they're side by side. But when you mix red and green, you get brown. But that's okay with our pear because it's on the dark side. When your painting is dry, you can add a few more bits of the orangey red in there. Okay. And then I'm going to grab a little bit. I want to wet my brush a little bit. I want to grab a little bit of that brown paint with my paintbrush, and I want to give it a little smiley face like that. Right up at the top, that's where our stem will live. And then you can't really see it now, but we're going to give it a highlight. Grab some of that light green, and this is our light side. So give it a little stem like that. If you want to go back over and add a leaf, you can do that. And I don't know what a pear leaf looks like, but let's give it like an eyelid sort of shape, or like a deflated football, and fill it in. You can curve it up on one side if you want. Grab a little brown paint. Go right down the center of your leaf. Like that. Okay, so it's starting to look like a pear a little bit. Now, if you want to use a brush and you're having a little trouble coming around the edge of your pear, you can grab some of that black paint. I wet my paintbrush because I wanted to make sure that I had a clean line, so not too much water, but go right up to the edge of your pear and clean up your edges like that. Okay. You got a little messy down here at the bottom. If you pick up some of that green paint and just go ahead and wipe off your brush. On your paper towel, fill in all the little spaces. Okay. There you go. It's your pear. I am gonna fix my stem a little bit before you go, before I release you. So we do want that stem to pop out a little bit and give it a little interest. So give it a highlight of the light green like that. And you can even add a little bit of light green on your leaf. Okay, and if it starts to look like a little dry brush, just wet your paint a little bit. Okay, and there you have it. It's a pear. Bye guys.